Hey, what's happening, Roland? Well, hey, today is Friday. It is the 17th of October, and I'm getting ready to go fishing. I'm, it's, but Okeechobee is alive and well, and the water's come up a little bit. And it was funny. I was guiding a guy out on Okeechobee just the other day. He said, "Is this a brand new boat?" I said, "No, it's 3 years old." Now, see, for a while I had it protected with a wrap, but then after I've taken the wrap off, I've been real, careful to clean it all the time, and I'm using a different spray and shine Booyah cleaners. And I'm telling you, for a 3-year-old boat, this is the actual finish is absolutely brand new because, for one, it had a wrap on it for 2 years. That helped, and I keep it inside. I don't have it out in the bright sun. But anyway, it's an immaculate boat. Everything's working perfect. My forward-facing sonar is a big deal right now, and of course, my power poles and everything else. Now, tomorrow, Okeechobee is almost 14 foot. Now, what that means is that back in the summer and early spring, say May, when the frog fishing was real good and there was some spawning fish, it was down around 11 feet. Well, it's come up almost 3 feet since then. Now, 3 feet of water on Lake Okeechobee floods a couple 100,000 acres, and so a lot of the fish have moved back into the areas like the Monkey Box and back into Moonshine Bay and back into all the little back areas, the Gator Hole and all these kind of places. But here's the deal: there's a tournament tomorrow. I predict that the winning string are still going to be the outside edges because the bigger fish like the deeper water. And right now, we have water about chest deep or almost chin deep at the edge of the reeds that are surrounding the lake. You know, lake's about 30 miles across, and then we have a gigantic weed line that comes out from the actual levee. Comes out a mile or so in most areas, and that's all marsh now. And there's water and bass all back in there that whole mile. But some of the bigger fish, you can mark my words, are going to be caught on the outside edge. So my cameraman Tyler, he won the last Roland Martin big bass tournament that we had there at the marina, and he came in second in the next one. So he's hot right now. And of course, I helped him a little bit on that first win, but he's got some fish found. So we're going to fish a Ghosts and Goblins tournament tomorrow. It's a different kind of deal. So, okay, what I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to start off, okay, the whole deal is 5 fish. There's 2 of us fishing all day. We only need 5 fish. So here's the deal. What do you think? Do you think it's better to go right away and catch a limit of fish? To say you have 10 or 15 pounds right off the bat? Is that what you want to do? And then keep culling the bigger fish all day long. As you catch a bigger fish, you might throw a smaller one back. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to go for broke. We got a brand new game plan. It's a Gary Milicevic game plan. He just wins so many tournaments like this. We're not going to even stop if the seagulls are diving. We're not going to stop on the little fish. We're going to go straight to where the big fish live. They live on these heavy reed clumps on the outside edge of Lake Okeechobee. There's about 150 miles of this kind of water, so it's a lot of it. And there's beautiful, beautiful water. And according to how clear the water is and how the wind's blowing is what we're going to do. Now, here's the deal. When the wind blows hard on Lake Okeechobee, it muddies the water up. And when it does, it kind of hurts the fishing. So no matter where the wind's coming from tomorrow, no matter how it's going to blow, we're going to go to try to find the cleanest water we can find. And so that's the first thing. Find a good clean water. Okay, secondly, I'm going to have plenty of good heavy tackle. You know, all last week I was up in Minnesota, and we had just a ball with the frog. You know, I was taking that Spro frog, and one of the deals is here, this Spro 65. Now, early in the morning, the first hour, I'm not going to fool with those little fish. I'm not going to fool with the worm fish. I'm just going to go for a big bite on those outside clumps in about 4 to 5 feet of water. And this is the big Spro 65. It's called the bronze eye frog. Now, you notice there's a little bit of a gap. If you look at my hook, I've made a little gap with pliers. I've bent these hooks out just a little bit. This is a 4/0 real heavy duty hook, and this is 65-pound test braid. I know I was up in Minnesota and I was showing you 50-pound braid in the reeds, and I caught them in the reeds there, but these could be bigger fish. These could be 8-pound fish, maybe a 9 or 10-pound fish. So I'm going to go to 65, and that's kind of what Dean Rollhouse. I fished here with Dean on Lake Okeechobee, and he recommends 65-pound test line too. as well as Ish Monroe. He's another big frog guy that's from the West Coast, and both those guys advocate a heavy line, and I sure do like it. Okay, now speaking of tackle, I just got my brand new deal with Lew's rods and reels, and I'm going to just show you what kind of rods I got. Now this is just a spinnerbait. This is the Booyah spinnerbait. Now, believe it or not, throwing a spinnerbait in those reed patches can be a big deal too. I got 50-pound braid on these spinnerbaits because I'm mainly fishing on the edges. I'm not throwing way back in like I would be the frog. But I do have a really nice spinning rod here that's just perfect. This spinning rod is a Lew's rod, and I don't know if you can see the nomenclature on it. It's right there. It's 610 rod. It's a medium heavy action, 50-pound braid, and this reel is really a slick reel. This is the Hyper M. Let's see. I just started this hill. The Hyper Mag. Hey, you talk about a casting reel. This single out casting anything I've ever had, and that's what I'm gonna do. With a 50-pound braid and a good tight drag, boy, I'm really set. Now, another thing that we're doing now, I just want to explain real quick. There's kind of a swim jig bite, and also a jig bite. Now, just to kind of get you going on this thing, I'll just show you what I got. Fish Lucky, or the Lucky Strike Company, it's changed its name to Fish Lucky. They make a variety of jigs, and this is one of them. This is the half ounce. No, this is the. I'm sorry, this is the 3/8 ounce. I also have half ounce and 5/8 ounce. And the 5/8 ounce I'm going to use, and I'm going to pitch. I got another rod rigged with a 5/8 ounce jig. It's a black and blue jig, kind of like this one. And I'll be pitching it in the heaviest reeds I can find, particularly ones that have the wind kind of blowing in, but yet clear water. Okay, so that's really a big deal. Also in the back, let me just show you some of the products I got here. I'm going to just show you in the back of the truck here what I got. For that jig combination, I'm using this little thing here. This is a 3.25 live motion crawl. It's a beautiful crawl that when I put on the back of the jig. That's just a beautiful color. It's kind of a dark royal blue. And for some reason, I don't know, black and blue on Lake Okeechobee are an awful good combination. So I'm going to take this and there's two ways to fish it. And what you do basically is you can use it as a flipping rod. And I have one rod set up with the bigger one, the 5/8 ounce, and I got the big Ugg button on the back, and it's a bigger, longer rod. It's actually a flipping stick by Lew's, and I have that for 5/8 ounce. This one I'm not going to pitch so much. This one I'm going to actually cast for the most part. It's a little bit lighter, and I'll just throw it, to the edges of those reeds, and just kind of swim it. When I swim it, I say I swim it. I just kind of let it sink to the bottom and just keep it moving the whole time. And just kind of swim it through those patches, and it comes through there pretty good. Now here's the whole deal. You're talking about a 6 or 8 pound bass and a reed clumps like this. You got to be on them. You got to. I mean, I don't use anything less than 50-pound test on that in this situation. This is really a big time deal. And on all my flipping sticks, I'm using 65. Okay. So now we're talking about still early morning bite. Occasionally when I get out there to the edge of the lake, sometimes you'll see a big fish, and you can tell a big fish when it chases bait. You can see like a big gizzard shad comes out of the water the size of your hand. That's a big fish. So I do have a Pro Pop 80, and it's a long distance plug, and I can throw it a long ways, and I just kind of keep it ready. I mean, I don't throw it a whole lot and stuff, but early in the morning, there's a lot of activity going on. And when I see a breaking fish on the edge of the reed patch or out in the water, sometimes they're chasing shad on out past the reed point, I can make a nice long cast with this rod. And this is another one, another 6/8 rod, like kind of what I showed you before. That 6/8 was really a popular deal. And I do have, in this case, 20-pound monofilament because I'm fishing open water. I'm not fishing just in the reeds, no. You can't get a treble hook plug through the reeds. This is two big Gamakatsu treble hooks, and it's just for the reeds themselves. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. There's a couple other things that I use here. let me just show you what I got here now. That's really a good deal. So speaking of a swim bait, I might even take a swim bait on a big flipping stick and swim it through there. Spro makes a couple different swim baits that are awful good. And swimming a swim bait, hey, that's another way to catch a big one if you see one, particularly if they're kind of schooling and boiling in the water. That big swim bait can do the job. Okay. Also, while I'm at it, you've been talking a lot, and lately there's this is kind of a swim jig. It's a scrounger, but it's kind of a swim jig. But it's an open hook deal, and I'll run it by the edges of the reeds, and it casts really good. And I make all sizes, all the way up from 1/8 ounce all the way up to 1 ounce. And this one happens to be I think it's a ½ ounce. This one's a ½ ounce model, and I have a beautiful tail. That's a Fish Lucky tail, and it really does a good job. So I can, anytime I see the reed shaking, I got to really be observant. Look for fish boiling in the water, look for the reeds to shake, looking for those kind of things. And if I can swim that scrounger right by the weeds, right by that point, that can be a good combination as well. Okay, we're getting down to just almost the end of my repertoire right now. Okay, you heard me talk a lot about, well, I have just the standard worm. I have the regular standard. Okay. Let me just show you what I got here. Okay, let me get back to my truck. This whole thing's full of worms and tackle and scroungers and every kind of thing in the whole world. And I just want to show you what worm combination I used. I used the regular worm, the regular salty sink worm. Okay, now a salty sink worm is so cool because it has a lot of salt in it, just like some of the Yamamoto products used to have. And now I'm not using Yamamoto's anymore. These are all a different deal. These are all beautiful worms. Okay, here's one I'll just show you. This salt content's real high, and the thing really sinks good. And this is a 5-inch, and it has an egg sac in it. It's just a perfect worm. And I'll put it on a heavy worm rod, and I'll throw it with at least 50-pound test line into those reeds. But a lot of people come down to Okeechobee and they'll ask me, "Well, Roland, I don't know what to do. I only have one rod, one reel, kind of a deal. What should I do?" Hey, put a worm like this on. A stick worm, 5-inch, either a blue one like this one, or just a watermelon gray, a watermelon red, or a green pumpkin. In fact, when I was working with Yamamoto, half their production was green pumpkin, and that's true with all these different companies. I talked to the people, Jeff Williams at Fish Lucky, and a huge amount of their products are green pumpkin. I mean, it's maybe a third of their colors are get sold as a green pumpkin in all sorts of different model lures. So green pumpkin is really a big deal. But there's another worm that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you that one. It's a little bit bigger one. This is the Huey, the big Huey worm, or little Huey, or big Huey, or some kind of Huey. It's called the no, this is the snake worm. This is the sneaky snake. I'm sorry. There is a Huey worm, and it's big too, but this is the sneaky snake. Now, what the difference is it's harder, and it has harder plastic, and I could put a bigger hook in there and a bigger weight and actually swim it through the reeds as well. But because of the hard nature of the plastic, it comes through the reeds really well. And again, I have it on heavy line. I got this on a 50-pound braid, and again, this is a rod. That laser. This is the laser NIG. It's really a long distance reel. And then I have it on a rod. I don't know if you can see that rod right here. I don't know if you can read it. But anyway, it's a medium heavy, 7.3. It's a great worm rod, 7.3 medium heavy. I'm just learning all the different rods, and I had a great week with all these new products that I had up in Minnesota and also in Arkansas. But I'm getting the gist of it. I can tell you one thing unequivocally, the Lew's reels are the best casting reels I've ever casted with. Period, bar none. This is better than all the Shimano's, better than all the other ones that I've ever had. the Lew's is the best. It's the best casting I've ever used, and so I'm really happy with that. Okay, well, listen, that's just kind of a rundown of what I'm going to be doing this week. I'll be working at Lake Okeechobee, trying to win a big tournament and getting ready for the fall season, because now it's fall, the water's up, and the fish are biting. So hey, thanks for watching. Hit that likes button. We all need that likes to come around. It's the juice that makes all the sponsors really happy. So we'll see you again soon. And hey, thanks for watching.